Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sable Library's featured performance today. We are privileged to have Utopia Winds with us today, a clarinet quartet from, I have to say, the greater New York area because they're spread out from all over the place, Queens and Long Island, etc. So we are so thankful for the talent that they bring to us today and also their amazing generosity putting this program together during this pandemic. This kind of came about way back when, during the actual closures, and our library had put out to our community a request for community groups that were willing to share a talent with the rest of our community to bring everyone through a difficult time together. And Valerie had reached out and said that she was part of a group and started this whole entire venture that we have culminating today in this performance. So Valerie, thank you. And thank you to Utopia Winds for sharing your amazing talent with us today. Me gustaría dar una bienvenida también a los hispanoparlantes que están participando en nuestra presentación hoy de Sudamérica, he oído, y también de Centroamérica también. Pues entonces, bienvenidos a la presentación y bienvenidos a la biblioteca de Sable. Muchísimas gracias por participar hoy. Thank you. So just a quick welcome to all of our Spanish-speaking friends who have joined us today from Central America and South America. This is an amazing blessing that we have in Zoom to bring the entire world together for a wonderful performance. Without further delay, I will start our pre-recorded performance, and then I will let Utopia Winds share afterwards how they put all of this together. You'll hear some of that during the performance itself, but they will be online interacting with all of us. So put your questions together. I'm sure that you will have some at the end of our performance, and Utopia Winds will be interacting with us once the performance is done. I ask that you bear with me now while I share the screen.
Hello, Sable Library. My name is Larry Seltzer. I'm the bass clarinet player of Utopia Winds and the group's technical person. Due to the pandemic, we've all had to change the way we do normal things. This is a new way for us to perform, and perhaps a new way for all of you to see and hear us. Getting here was quite an adventure into uncharted waters. Our group prepared this video presentation without being physically near each other. We used special software, devices, microphones, and a lot of coordination to put it all together. My wife Leslie and I were in one location, but Valerie and Glenda were at their respective homes. We all rehearsed and recorded everything you're about to see and hear from our own living rooms. Apologies for the blips, clicks, and minor issues, as this is a brand new technology. The miracle is that we were able to do this and still bring you a performance. Soon we hope to be able to play for you live in the same way we've been rehearsing, but using an even newer technology. A lot of smart people have been working around the clock to make these things happen, and we are more than appreciative of their efforts. So without delay, I'd like to welcome you all to Utopia Winds' Octoberfest Halloween concert, presented to you through the Sable Library. Our first song, written in 1993 by Danny Elfman, comes from the movie A Nightmare Before Christmas. I arranged it as an instrumental clarinet quartet piece. The original song is the movie's introduction of life and times in Halloween Town, as presented by the town's residents. Since we're clarinetists and cannot give you the lyrics, use your imagination as we introduce, through musical phrases, the different types of strange undead beings in this magical place.
I'm Leslie J. In Utopia Winds, I play B-flat clarinet and sometimes, but not today, E-flat clarinet, the piccolo of the clarinet family. You can't have an Octoberfest without some polkas. The first dance number on our program, Pennsylvania Polka, was written by Zeke Manners with lyrics by Lester Lee. Their celebration of beer, dancing, and good times was released in 1942, performed in turn by Lawrence Welk, the Andrews Sisters, and accordionist Frank Yankovic. You may have heard Yankovic in the movie Groundhog Day.
Hello, Saville Library Zoom audience. I'm Valerie Jones. I'm a longtime Saville resident. The other three members of our quartet all hail from Queens. The opening of the TV show Alfred Hitchcock Presents begins with the appearance of the director's silhouette to the accompaniment of the funeral march of a marionette. French composer Charles Gounod wrote this satirical piece for solo piano in 1872, and then later orchestrated it. It was intended as a parody of a local music critic who, according to Gounod, walked like a stuffed red monkey. Bernard Herrmann, Hitchcock's longtime film score collaborator, had suggested the use of this piece. It became synonymous with the TV show, along with Hitchcock's famous "Good Evening."
My name is Glenda Torres. I was born and raised in Caracas, Venezuela, where I studied clarinet through El Sistema. During my tenure as a member of the Banda Marcial Caracas, I received a degree in performance and I taught in an integrated school with arts and sports. I moved to New York a year and a half ago, so I'm still learning to speak English fluently. The polka is a lively dance that originated in the countryside of Czechoslovakia, now the Czech Republic. It had spread to major European cities by 1858, when Johann Strauss II, famous for his waltzes, considered as the popular dance music of its time, composed Trish Trash. He premiered this piece in Vienna. The title means chit-chat, and some sources say it alludes to the Viennese love of gossip. This is a playful tune, and since you're watching from home, feel free to get up on your feet or at least tap your toes. The song "Witchcraft" was an early collaboration between composer Cy Coleman and lyricist Carolyn Lake, who was a Queens College alumni. This tune should not be confused with another song with the same name, released in the same year, 1958. The Witchcraft version we're about to play was a big hit for Frank Sinatra. Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, and Bing Crosby also recorded it as well. Despite the title, the song wasn't originally associated with Halloween, but it was used in the soundtrack for the Disney film Hocus Pocus and an episode of The Simpsons called Bart the Murderer, so it fits right into our program.
musician Jaromir Vojevoda wrote Beer Barrel Polka in 1927. During the period of World War II, it became popular among soldiers of all nationalities. Also known as Roll Out the Barrel, it was a signature piece of Liberace's, and it's a standard with polka and accordion bands. Since the 1970s, the Frankie Yankovic version is broadcasted during the seventh inning stretch of the Milwaukee Brewers baseball games. I've heard it used at concert intermission raffles when they roll out the raffle cage. Eins, zwei, eins, zwei.
We think the Toccata and Fugue in D minor was written by Bach in the early 1700s, although some musicologists question the composer, the era, or both. What is certain is that during the silent film era, movie theater organists played the Toccata and Fugue at creepy moments. The music crossed over to talkies in 1931 in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Since then, this piece has been used to great effect in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Rollerball, and most famously, Phantom of the Opera, as well as many other titles, from creature features to comedies. Toccata and Fugue concludes our program. We thank the Sayville Library for showcasing Utopia Winds, and we thank everyone who is watching today.
That was absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd show Larry here.
Outstanding. Yes, please feel free, everyone, unmute yourselves at this point, and feel free to share any questions that you may have. You know, just initially, I have one phrase that keeps coming to mind: lung capacity. How in the world do you do this?
we aren't currently infected with COVID.
I mean, I'm listening to the amount of time you are holding notes, and I'm just amazed.
Well, wind
Copy
players,
paste. No, I'm just kidding.
like vocalists, wind
Yes.
players have to manage their air.
Yeah.
So some of it is individual management, and some of it is staggered breathing. Like
Yes.
I have the advantage because we're playing in the same place, so I can match.
She takes my air.
Take his air away, yeah.
But we had to map out with each other, like, is this going to be a place where we stagger, or is this a place where we all breathe together? And then I'm sure you heard us many times breathe rhythmically before a phrase or before the piece started. So I mean, I know for a fact that my breaths are very actually noisy, but you know,
It's very useful.
but it's useful in this case. It's useful. I know it is. Yeah.
She doesn't
That's just
snore though.
amazing. So you can, so there are times when you can, like when I used to sing in a choir, it would be like you could have members come in and come out.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
staggered. We call it staggered breathing. Yeah, same
Very
thing.
good.
Yeah.
But that's only for long held passages.
So the line, yeah. So the note, so the sound is held without any interruptions of the sound. So
Toccata and fugue. Oh my goodness, absolutely necessary during that piece.
It's a very complicated cadenza-like piece, and it's just nothing but there's and you heard the Leslie's intro. It's actually not even we're not even sure it's written by Bach, and it's sort of a not in the same exact level and style of Bach. But some people thought it was some kind of final exam of his. I found no references to this, but I was told this years ago that he wrote it for his organ students, that this was a test to pass. And I now it's been, I guess, debunked by research or
Well, we also
not
know
solidified.
the piece kind of fell into disuse, and then Mendelssohn came across it, and Mendelssohn published it and popularized it because Mendelssohn and his sister were sort of, a century or more later, were kind of like Mozart and his sister, very, very talented musicians. And so when Mendelssohn took up the piece, he helped to revive it.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
It's a fun piece and very hard to put together, and really hard to do what other musicians would do, which is, hey, you record your part and send it to me and I'll put it back. There's no way you could split that up and do that with any degree of accuracy without 10 times the planning. And so the only way we could have done this is the way I explained in the beginning of the video by using the special software. But and there's a whole story behind that.
Can you talk a little bit about what it took to put all of this together? Because I have to tell you, it's quite magical when you watch it. Everything just seems so normal, and I really did enjoy the beer stein.
This is. I just
there
have to make a note. A friend of mine, Oscar Wagenbuchler, who's a pretty famous, barber in Manhattan, and been my barber for over 30 years. He's a friend of mine, and he gave me this. This is a genuine Bayern stein, from like 80 years ago. This is a very old, from his hometown, and he gave it to me on my 50th birthday, and I'm very proud of this. So it doesn't look like your big old beer stein, but this is a real stein. So,
Oh, it's got some mileage on it. That's great.
It's I guess this is tradition for those who know, this is traditional. What's on there? It's just flowers, but this is Bayern, it's got really, I love that thing. Love steins. So, all right. So I put a little story together. So our group was looking for a fourth person. We had some personal changes last year, and Valerie was with us more than a year ago, and we didn't have four. We needed a fourth. We put out a Craigslist ad early in the year 2020, before the pandemic, and got nothing until Glenda got back to saw our ad March 29th. 2020. So we were already full-blown pandemic, and so I can tell you this, to date, including today, we have never in person rehearsed. We've played on our porch, but that's another story. But we've never sat down and had a normal in-person rehearsal with these four people. So everything that's happened here has been through virtual means. We decided to try out, play with Glenda by doing what we call our porch concert series. We said, hey, let's have a rehearsal. We'll do it on the porch. It's nice weather out, because you can't do this in cold weather. Clarinets they'll break with a hot air going in, the cold air on the outside, and the wood can crack. So very sensitive to temperatures. We had to wait until our first thing was June 16th. And we got on our porch and we said, you know what, it's summer. Let's play some Sousa marches and Joplin ragtimes. And we did that on our porch. Val brought her big tent, and we had a tent to cover from the sun. And we put up speakers, and it became, instead of a rehearsal, it became a little performance for neighbors.
For the neighborhood.
Yeah, and in Queens. This was in Fresh Meadows. And we liked it so much, it seemed to be successful. We started advertising it. We did one on July 4th. We did another Labor Day. But we needed to rehearse, but this was not a way to rehearse. I'm an IT person. I'm a computer professional, support administration for almost 30 years. And so I'm the guy. I should go find out something, internet, technical, something. What can we do so all four people can use the internet and play together? And so I researched, I found 5 different products. I tried them out. My brother gave me a suggestion. He sent me something called Jam Kazam. That was a very popular product. All these products existed, these software programs existed as a kind of musicians' social network. The idea was to get people to join this network and put a little, flag next to your name for what country you're from and what instrument you play and what your level is. Oh, Larry Seltzer, clarinet from Fresh Meadows, New York, USA. And then you'd see this network of people, and you could all get onto some public internet musicians server and jam together. Oh, hey, let's have a jam session. It's great idea. It never took off. Some people had Kickstarter, fundraisers. It didn't take off. This was 5-6 years ago. And so everything fizzed out, and then enter pandemic 2020. Oh my God, musicians need to play together. What are we going to do? We came out, several of these products started to jump back into play. And one I came across from another friend, a musician friend, who has a wind ensemble, said, hey, you should try Jamulus. And Jamulus came to the forefront, the front of everyone else. And the developers, it's an open source software. It's not commercial. So it's supported by the network of musicians and programmers out there. And they developed networking protocols and other things in order to get. The problem is when why don't we just all get on Zoom? Great, Zoom will be wonderful.
But tell them, Larry, we were actually visually on Zoom at the same time as while we were doing this Jamulus rehearsal that he's explaining.
We let me see in my we had Zoom has a delay in audio and video. There's a delay. If you see I'm talking and you might even see my face talk and hear the sound after, or hear the sound and then my face moves. That's very disturbing when you're trying to come in together on a single note or know when to start or have a tempo or a rhythm. Very difficult. So Jamulus, the audio, prevents the delays. It gets rid of all the things that are in the way of delaying the sound. So I go like this and it's instantly heard on the other end. Myself and others, we put on headphones in the video, so we would drown out the sound we heard live.
We were all wearing headphones.
We're all wearing headphones to drown out our own sound and hear everything through the software and through our headphones, even ourselves, our recorded version. So we got rid of the lag, and we did a few successful things. We finally had a successful rehearsal, a lot of bumps. Oh my goodness. But we got through it and it worked. And Val saw the ad for, or saw something to say, hey, they're doing sessions.
The library puts out a bulletin, and then the library mentioned that they were providing the community as a virtual possible lecture demonstration. So that,
She got us in there, talked to us. Hey, we can do this. Look, we're doing this. Our original idea was, hey, we'll have a porch thing and we'll record it all. And it turned out that the software records, the Jamulus software. So I said, well, why don't we do that? It'll be a nicer recording. We can do it all at once. We don't have to wait for a porch session. and then we can do multiple takes and try it out.
And we won't have traffic noise because
Yeah, a lot of noise
outside knows there's a lot of interruptions.
Cars coming by, people, hey, what are you doing? Woo-hoo, whistle. So we, and it turns out that other people were trying to do this as well. And so the idea was they used a combination of a delayed Zoom video combined with the non-delayed Jamulus audio. You put them together as recordings in a video editing program and you can make a recording. That's what everyone just saw. Everything in there we did while myself and Leslie, you know, Leslie's my wife, we live here. So we're one zone, we're one location. Glenda was another in Jamaica Estates, and Val out in Sayville was a third. So all three of us had our little Zoom squares and we recorded the audio, and I took that all together, put it together and synchronized it and fixed it a little, and voila. It took a while, but it worked. And what's really nice is there's other software, because, all right, so this is great, you can record. What if you want to play live? Well, there's another piece of software. If you can do all this stuff, why can't you send it all to, say, Facebook Live or YouTube Live or something? There is a program.
May I just mention that
Sure.
if you're on a Mac, there's all sorts of other bugs and tweaks that Larry helped me figure out.
There's a lot of bugs.
I had to get I forgot what this is called. Whatever this is, so that you connect your Ethernet cable into your laptop. Did you want to show them your interface?
Can you guys see this? Let me see. Let me go to the Zoom video.
Yep.
Let's see.
Did anybody have any questions?
This is it. You see it? This is a product. These are microphone cables.
Okay.
This is where we
had our headphones plugged in.
This is Leslie and I have a double. Valerie and Glenda have a what's called a solo. This is a company called Focusrite, upside down. That's it perfectly right there. So these are little, what we call USB audio devices. They plug into a computer via USB cable. You have a microphone input that Valerie's showing you right there. And
yep.
And then so you use a regular microphone like this. You know, we have these microphones we actually use, you know, for recording, performing live. In our case, and sorry for the noises here. There you go. The microphones are for acoustic instruments. They're percussion mics. Long story. Not every microphone is the same as any other microphone. So these are directional acoustic mics, and they're very good for clarinets. They're pretty good for Zoom meetings, but they're really useful for recording quality stuff. Glenda and Val, I gave them a couple of mics. They had microphones. They had to buy things. They had to buy Ethernet cables and things. And Glenda has a 50-foot Ethernet cable because she wanted to be in another room, but the router for her internet is up there. And oh my goodness! So, but it worked. And we tested and retested and retested. And then we started recording. I said, I don't know if I can do this. I've never edited a video in my life. But lo and behold, I was more worried about putting our little Utopia Winds logo in the beginning than I was about putting because we had recorded and successfully posted. Heck, I think we sent Jonathan one of our NOLA from our porch performance.
Right.
I was using, you know, and that's, so we have, you know, we have 500 arrangements of things. And again, we've never rehearsed in person, but because of this live, what's called OBS, open broadcaster software, which uses Jamulus as an audio capture, Zoom as a video capture without its audio, and then rebroadcasts that to Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch, for the young kids out there, Twitch, it's a little gaming, it's another way to broadcast, and I think a dozen other things that it can send those feeds to synchronized. It offsets the audio and it takes Zoom and syncs it up with Jamulus. Done. It'll be similar to our recordings, but live. Right. So our group would like to do, we love holiday music. We have 5 hours of holiday music, even a Hanukkah suite, a 10-minute Hanukkah suite.
It lasts 8 days.
With all your,
it's not 10 minutes. Exactly. It lasts all 8 days.
It's a miracle.
Every Hanukkah song you've ever heard of.
Everything you've ever wanted to hear in 10 minutes or more. And you put it together. And so we'll be, I hope, through the month of November, doing some of these virtual Jamulus rehearsals because we're still in a pandemic. And but this time the focus will be on holiday music. And if we get some things together, we'll just throw up some live Facebook or YouTube broadcasts and actually perform for people while we're doing it, as opposed to recording it. And that's a game changer for live performing musicians. All kinds, rock bands, jazz bands. We're classical musicians, so this is a different, and we're acoustic. We have no backup. We have no rhythm section. We don't have a conductor. We're a chamber music group, so we have to see each other. We have to breathe. We have to know when to come in, and it's a little harder. But
does anyone have any questions now that we've
Oh, you got your Stein.
oh, look at now. That's the kind of Stein I grew up with. That's a Stein. That's a real Stein.
Yeah,
As opposed to this, which is, I was told by Oscar, this is a Stein. This is a real Stein that they would have there.
I'm sure there are regional variations.
this is the 2010 official Oktoberfest Stein. Our daughters, at the end of their honeymoon, they were in Munich. So.
Oh, I was in Munich. That's one place I've been in Europe is Munich.
Wonderful.
It's so lovely.
Gift that
Yeah.
year. Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for this wonderful concert. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Now I'm the flute, piccolo, sometimes bassoon person. Tom is the clarinetist.
And very rarely bass clarinetist, but that was 60 years ago. So
Yeah.
55 and 60.
He actually has. Do you want to talk about? Your
Oh yeah, I've
clarinet?
got my old clarinet from high school, and I'm not going to play anymore, and nobody wants me to play anymore. So, is there any? Can I give it to somebody? I have no idea what condition it's in.
We'd like to donate it.
Yeah.
You can donate it to Family Melody Center in Patchogue. She's always looking to get spare
Okay.
parts, spare
Okay.
clarinets. Absolutely.
We'll do.
There's always a need. Oh my
That's great
goodness.
from you, right?
There's an over need.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
wonderful. It would never go to it would never get tossed. It would get,
Yeah.
if it's a wooden instrument and there's certain technical, if it's cracked or something's really
Yeah, right.
off, maybe.
Yeah,
But most of the time, these even 60, 80-year-old instruments can be,
Thank
sometimes
you,
they're
Valerie.
better.
We'll do that.
And Valerie, we've enjoyed your son's music at church.
Oh, thank you very
Holidays.
much. Oh, that's right. At St. Anne's.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, boy. Yeah. St. Anne's for many years.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And one of yours is playing in the Air Force now.
I have two sons who are playing in Air Force bands that are not playing.
Oh,
They might be doing virtual things, but they're not touring right now.
Right.
I have two, and then I have another son who is in a symphony in Indianapolis, but not
Not playing.
Yeah.
performing. No, not. He's doing all sorts of creative things, but the symphonies schedule, like all the other giant symphonies
Yeah.
and operas, are shut down. So
yeah, we just got an email from New York City Ballet that they're shut down for the rest of the year.
that's it.
The whole season's done.
there's no way to do it.
If the Met shuts down, no one else can run anything.
There's no way to
So-
do it. But, we've
Yeah.
proven. Oh, by the way, my brother, who's on the meeting here from Colorado, from Boulder. Yes, he's right near those fires. He's about a mile from the fires in northern Boulder. He just posted in the chat room about Jamulus. And if anyone's interested in the software, want to see about it, there it is. Little explanation and the link. It's free. OBS is free. Zoom can be free. You get 1-hour meetings for free. All these things are for musicians especially freelancers who are on limited budgets or no budgets. It's a really big deal for them. But I thought I would mention that.
One other thing I'd like to mention is we have Glenda, a Venezuelan daughter.
Yeah.
She was an exchange student from Maracaibo, and she lived with us for a while, and now she's living in Miami, Florida.
And our daughter went to visit her on spring break one time instead of going to Florida, which we were very happy about. But it was a long time ago.
So we have a tiny little connection there to Venezuela.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, in Maracaibo. It's really hot over there.
Oh, yeah.
But the people is really nice in Maracaibo.
Yeah, this was
Very
many years ago, and we're still,
In
we
touch with
still
them.
communicate. We're
Right.
still in touch. So,
That's lovely.
That's wonderful.
Wow, back when the world used to visit each other, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And our son-in-law, Valerie, is a JAG in the Air Force. So we all have lots of connections here.
Oh, yeah, I have one. He's in one in California at Travis Air Force Base,
Right?
and one at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia.
Oh,
Okay.
he's at Hickam in Honolulu.
So anyway, yep. It's a good gig job
Yes.
for a musician because
Right.
you get,
Fabulous.
It's actually very competitive to get into service bands because
Yeah.
you know it
Yeah.
can be lifetime employment if you maintain it.
Yep.
I think there were quite a few for a while from Sayville who got into the service band.
That's right.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Sayville thing.
and Gary used to work for the Sayville Library and Jonathan might remember Gary when he was in middle school. He might have, I think it was middle school.
Oh my goodness.
Gary worked at the Sayville Library for a short while.
Great.
There you go.
Yeah. So he does remember you, Jonathan, because I told him we were doing this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, yep.
That's great. That
Yeah.
I
is
wonder if there's we marched once.
Oh, for a couple years we were in.
I don't know if we did the
in
Sayville.
a band that would appear with fire departments.
It's the
in
Greenwood Band.
parades in different.
They were the
places
Greenwood
in
Band, a
Vermont,
bunch of
yeah.
guys in white shirts, black and red ties, and all pro musicians, and they the 18 to 20 people. And
Wow.
I swear we were in Sayville. This was 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
But they do it every summer.
Oh, you probably were.
I wouldn't be surprised. I know we did
Yeah.
Bayville, but that's not.
Bayville's in Sayville.
Is not
No, Bayville is not in Sayville.
That's Bayville. Those people. Sayville's. Sayville's where the musicians are, where the wind is.
With
Especially in this house.
Yeah, right.
There were three brass players in this house. Yep.
Yeah.
this.
All
Well,
right.
we always joked about it because Linda was in the music boosters group.
Simba.
With me.
Simba.
I was in with you.
Right.
Yeah, and we used to joke about the Sayville Conservatory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not? We need more music. We need more music in everything.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Very good for people. It's very healthful. Very keeps your brain expanding.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Besides your lungs.
Besides your lungs.
That's right.
And your lungs. Fight COVID. Learn music.
Well, I always said when I retired, I wanted to take up the cello, and I've been retired now for what, 6 years, and I haven't done it yet, but I still want to do it.
Right.
I'm also I'm the cello of this quartet. That's what a bass clarinet
Right.
does.
Right.
That's it. You know, this thing is
Yeah.
the cello. We have a lot of
Well,
arrangements.
yeah, we've adapted a number of string quartets.
I am dying
Yes,
to
you
try
do
cello. I am dying to
Maybe we
learn.
can take lessons together.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's this string thing? I don't know. I don't have to. It doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Yeah, but you don't have to breathe too hard though. See?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all about breathing. And when I was studying voice, the teachers would talk about how, you know, you have to think of a string, a bow on the string when you breathe. But
Ah.
it's on the breath, it's on the string. It's very interesting metaphors. It's very, to make sound is all about, it's all about air, even cello. It's vibrating, it's
Yeah.
vibrating in the
Yeah.
air. So there's it's interesting metaphors and overlap. But although this one makes,
I hear that.
Without blowing.
and there are compositions for click, key clicks.
Well, Robert Dick, the flutist, is also a composer, and some of his pieces involve the
Beatbox.
sounds of the keys. Yeah.
You do beatbox on your flute.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's a lot.
Jonathan, thank you so much for providing us this
Yeah, thank
venue.
you, Jonathan.
You know, I can only say on behalf of the library, thank you, Utopia Winds. Number one, for the amazing talent that you have brought to all of us in the community today.
Thank you.
And also, the amount of time and effort that you have put, you know, in advance of today's performance. The amount of technical know-how that you have brought to put all of this together and weave it together so that it just looks so natural to us. But there was this amazing journey behind this entire performance today.
I know we learned, all of us learned a lot.
We learned a lot. It was.
Oh, my
Really
goodness.
did. Thank you.
Yes.
The good way to redirect the stress.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I was just going to say, music is just incredibly unifying and uplifting for a community.
Absolutely.
So thank you for
Thank you.
bringing
Thank you.
that tremendous gift to us
Oh,
today.
thank you.
Thank you. It was,
Thank you for joining us on a
Pleasure.
Saturday morning.
We're grateful for this opportunity and we enjoyed doing
Yep.
it.
Oh, it was this or cartoons, so, you know.
And then Utopia Winds, you have a website, correct?
Yes.
Yes. utopiawinds.com.
There we go.
And for those who have Facebook, we're facebook.com/utopiawinds.
Okay.
And our any kind of concert or live thing we do, we will likely, we put this concert, for instance, up on the website
Great.
and the Facebook site. We even have a mailing list for those who want to do email, and we will be posting and sending out, hey, we have a thing coming up such and such on such and such a day. Click here if you're interested, and we're going to do as much as we possibly can. It's not like we have that much else to do right now. There's a lot to do. I have to decorate. We have a lot of decorating to do.
That's great. So we can go to your website and then we can follow you in essence. We can give you our email address and then get updated with what you're doing.
You
And
bet.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. So this way we can stay in your gifts and enjoy the wonderful gift of music that you're bringing to this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, so to speak.
Stay tuned.
That's it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are.
All right.
Well, we usually are.
Thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon.
Joe.
Thank you so much once again, Utopia,
Hi, nice to see you
Sure.
again.
for your
Around
talent
the corner.
and sharing your gifts with us today. Take care,
Bye.
everyone, and have a great afternoon. Once again, come to sayvillelibrary.org and check our program calendar for more exciting programs to come. And
Okie
thanks,
doke.
everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Que le vaya bien.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Jonathan's Spanish seemed to be very good.
Yeah.